Hi, I'm John Heller, and I'm going to teach you how to lock your device so the individual can't get into these toolbox. Like when you hit this, you can imagine an individual getting in here who isn't ready for all that, getting in here and touching stuff they shouldn't. So they could get into the toolbox and start getting in here and making changes or erasing vocabulary or who knows what. They would just be touching stuff. We don't want everybody having access to that toolbox that doesn't know what they're doing once they get inside there. So there's two ways to do it. I love turning a jump drive like this into a little key that locks it. It's really slick. When the USB is in the side, you can make changes, and as soon as you pull it out, the machine is locked. So that's really slick. Once you copy the file on here, which I'm about to teach you how to do, this locking file, turning this into a key, you can then email that to each other or just drag and copy it to another USB drive. It's just a file you can save on any USB. Okay, here's how you make a jump drive using pass or your device. I'm going to do it on my device. I have a device over here. That's where you're most likely going to makes it the easiest to do. So right on the side of your device, right over here, about where the word me or I is, there's a port underneath there. So anyway, right at that location, well, that doesn't work very good. Right in this area on the side of my device, there's a port you can plug a USB into. All right, don't do it yet. Just hold the USB in your hand. So first step, hit menu or get a USB in your hand, then hit menu, then hit toolbox. And right here after you hit user settings, if that's the thing you last, see right here it says restrictions, and you even get a little padlock on there. So you hit restrictions, and then you're gonna, right here's the one I love, it says create a USB lock unlock. So when you say that create, it now tells you, well, insert that flash drive. So now you go over here and you slide in that past that USB stick, which is, it takes me a little bit to try to keep all this. I'm gonna have to move here a little bit. It's not easy to get to from this angle. Once I slide it in there, you can see it turns nice bright green. It's ready to work. So now I say okay, and that quick, I've made an unlock, turn that USB into an unlock key. So now, when that key is in there, so when I'm in here, if I turn this restriction access toolbox, if I turn that to USB, and I've already created one, I'm going to pull that out. That's the hardest part, is pulling that out and trying to keep it on video. Anyway, if I change it to USB, well, it wants me to make another one. So I guess it's making sure you don't turn that USB on without making one. All right, so I'm going to have to stick that in there one more time. So you have to have a USB to turn this on, which is good. Once I stick it in there, now I say okay, and now I'm finished. I've done it. So now I see how that turned blue now when I say finished. Now I still have that USB in there. So now when I hit menu, I can go to the toolbox because the USB is in there. But now I'm going to take my little finger and I'm going to pull that out. So now I pulled it out. Once I pull that out, now watch what happens when I hit menu. It doesn't let me do it. I can't get in there anymore, so I can't make any changes to my device unless somebody comes along and sticks this back in there. So if somebody sticks that jump drive in there, now when they hit the menu, they can get into the toolbox. So that's one way to do it, and I love that way. When you're in therapy, you can carry this with you, or maybe on your neck or something, and as soon as you want to make a change, you reach down, plug this in, then hand it back to the child or the individual you're working with, and now they can't make changes. So just as fast as you can pull this in and out. Now the alternative method is to go into here to your toolbox, go to your user settings, go to restrictions, and notice you can set a password. It could either be off, which if this gets to be a problem, just turn it off in here, but you have to have a USB to get in there. Or you could do password, create a password. Now I always do, back that up, I always do 4 zeros with one thing I can remember. Create. Of course, you remember these children are good at creating, are good at remembering these. So now I've created a password and I've told it I want to use a password. So now when I hit menu, I try to go to my toolbox, it's letting me because that USB is still in there. I'm going to pull that USB out. That was my problem. If I hit menu now, see how it's requiring a password before I get past this. So if I put the wrong one in there, it just jumps me back out. So I'm stuck here. Can't do anything because I don't know the password. But if I know it's 4 zeros, then I say done, now I can get in here and get back to my toolbox, get back in here to my restrictions, turn it off or on. Okay, I like this USB one, or creating a jump drive for someone else to use, or touch USB and stick it in there and create one, or just turning it off, of course, gets rid of it. So it's really, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Just remember, when the USB, if this has that software on it, it is no longer locked, and when you pull it out, it's locked. All right, that's really how it works on using Accent with Empower. It's really pretty slick. Menu, toolbox, user area, restrictions, then you either use a password, turn it off, or make a USB drive. Okay, I hope that helps and keeps individuals' machines back to kind of locked up so they can't get in there and make changes.